Hi, everybody. Dr. Justin Walbom with Back in Motion Disc and Joint here in Baton Rouge. And I wanted to take some time today to explain what a chiropractic treatment entails. Not just an adjustment, not just bone cracking or popping. That stuff is all over the internet. And I think it's created a bit of confusion of what we actually do as chiropractors, what we should actually be doing as chiropractors. So I apologize for the length of this video, but I think it's important to get out there the rationale and the science behind what chiropractic is and what it does when you receive a chiropractic adjustment. So what happens during an adjustment? Now, we call these adjustments HVLA adjustments, or high velocity, low amplitude thrusts. And it is the most common technique used, and it's characterized by a quick, controlled force applied to a joint, often producing that classic popping sound. Now, while it may look simple on videos, and while a lot of people can simulate it, copy the maneuver, and create the joint sounds, but if we look under the hood, we can look at what it actually does physiologically in the body and why. And not only is it important to know how to create that sound or how to create that adjustment, but also why it's important to know when not to do it, because there are certain physiological responses that happen when we perform a high velocity, low amplitude thrust into the body. What it does is it triggers a cascade of biomechanical, neurological, and physiological responses. So number one is joint gapping and cavitation. Now, this is what everybody is after, is that popping sound or that cracking sound. That is called a cavitation, and it is the formation of gas inside the joint. Actually, it's the dissolving of the gas inside the joint into the synovial fluid when that joint capsule is rapidly stretched or separated. So that gapping, it increases joint space and it temporarily reduces the intra-articular pressure. Now, why does that matter? What it does is it reduces joint fixation and allows for improved synovial fluid exchange. And it stimulates mechanoreceptors. Those are the little nerve endings inside the joint that detect motion. The second thing that happens is we get a spinal reflex modulation. HVLA adjustments activate type 1 and type 2 mechanoreceptors in the facet joint capsule and the surrounding tissue. These afferent fibers inhibit type 4 nociceptors or pain receptors. Does this through a process called spinal cord gating. This is based on the Melzack wall gate control theory. Now, what happens is we get immediate pain modulation and reduced muscle hypertonicity. We get improved proprioception and movement control. Number three, we get muscle tone reset via stretch reflex suppression. When the joint capsule is rapidly stretched through an adjustment, gamma motor neuron activity is temporarily inhibited. This resets muscle spindle sensitivity. That leads to reduced muscle guarding and spasm. So what does that mean? You're not just cracking a joint. You're actually recalibrating the body's reflexive response to tension and joint dysfunction. Number four, we get autonomic nervous system effects. Cervical and thoracic adjustments in particular can influence sympathetic outflow. HVLA may decrease sympathetic dominance, leading to reduced blood pressure, improved heart rate variability, enhanced parasympathetic function. That's the rest and digest tone. Number five, we get central nervous system integration. Functional MRI and EEG studies show changes in sensory motor integration post-adjustments. Adjustments may alter cortical and subcortical processing, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, basal ganglia, and cerebellum, areas critical for motor control, pain processing, and postural regulation. So in summary, a spinal, high-velocity, low-amplitude adjustment does far more than make a joint pop or crack. It releases joint pressure via cavitation, modulates pain through spinal reflexes, resets muscle tone via spindle inhibition, influences autonomic balance, enhances CNS processing of movement and pain. And this is why patients often experience not just reduced pain, but improved movement, reduced tension, and better neurological control, even after a single session. I hope this has been informative, and we'll get into some additional topics like when you should be adjusted and when you shouldn't be adjusted in a future video. I look forward to talking to you next time.